Hey y'all, happy Tuesday. Thank you so much for coming back to watch another What Else is Going On, aka We Go podcast YouTube video. I'm your girl, your host, Taria. So there's a lot of things that I want to talk to y'all about. So I'm going to split them up into two um, shorter videos, mostly so I can get it all in the caption. So that's why I'm going to do two separate videos. Have y'all ever let y'all blood sugar run low, like for real by accident? Like I was taking my notes for Potomac. I just finished the little bit of notes I had, y'all, for Potomac, so I could give y'all the recap because it's supposed to be out today. And I get up, go upstairs, and I got to do my hair. I was like, let me throw this hat on real quick. And I started feeling shaky, like I was going to pass out, like feeling sick. So I'm trying to eat cheese and crackers, drinking some iced tea. I was like, oh, that's not working. So I had to get me some water and a couple slices of lunch meat ham, and I'm starting to feel better. But like it just happened so fast. Like I was fine. Then all of a sudden I felt like I was getting ready to pass out, child. I don't know. But anyway, say a prayer for your girl. All right, y'all. Let's get into the things. This is gonna be Bravo based. So first up, y'all may have seen this, but what do I say? We haven't talked about it as a family together. Nene Leakes. We know that she has a podcast with Sierra from Love and Hip Hop. I think it's called Me and My Homegirl. Now, I always said if I had to pick anybody to do a podcast with, because I've been podcasting since 2016, 8 years. Okay, I'm not new to this, but I would want to do it with Nene. How's she gonna go start with somebody else? Anyway, I forgive you, Nene. Just come on over here so we could chat it up. But anyway, she started a podcast with her and Sierra, Me and My Homegirl. And she also, her and Sierra, I believe, were on Tamron Hall. So we know that in the news recently, Cynthia Erivo from Wicked, shout out to Cynthia, said she wants to see Nene back on The Housewives, right? That's been discussed, for the last 2 weeks or so. She loves Atlanta, loves Potomac. I think it's because they're the Black franchises, but not saying she don't like the other ones, but we have an affinity towards. But anyway, so she wants Nene to come back. Nene answered back like, "I'm glad, like Cynthia loves me." Blah blah blah. They asked her would she be open. She said if they made the call and the check was right, boom. You know that Bravo is under NBC Universal. We do know that Nene had been in litigation with them for years, but obviously something settled because she was it the Emmys? One of the after shows with Ariana Madix and somebody else, which was under the NBC Universal brand. So we're like, oh, the door is cracked. The door is cracked. So Nene and Sierra went on Tamron Hall, and Sierra, again, is her co host for her new podcast, Me and My Homegirl. And this is what Nene had to say about returning. Let's get into it.
I would answer.
Yeah.
I would need to hear what they have to say. We have put a lot of things behind us that some people know, some people don't know. We've ended all of those things. We've moved forward. I'm doing some things with NBC. I will be on the after show for the Oscars.
Yeah.
I will be doing that. We have our relationship. We're kind of dating slowly.
Oh.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. But I don't know. I wonder if I went back over there, would they all beat me up?
If the Housewife franchise called, would you be able to put the past behind you?
Yes.
And go on?
Okay. So, first of all, if they called, I would answer.
Yeah.
I would need to hear what they have to say. We have put a lot of things behind us that some people know, some people don't know. We've ended
I'm just
all of
letting it
those
play again,
things.
y'all.
We've moved forward. I'm doing some things with NBC. I will be on the after show for the Oscars.
Yeah.
I will be doing that. We have our relationship. We're kind of dating slowly.
Oh.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. But I don't know. I wonder if I went back over there, would they all beat me up?
If the Housewife franchise.
There's been a lot of before Nene, no, she wouldn't go back. Oh, I would do it for the fans. We felt like the door is closed. But now Nene is saying that she would listen to what they had to say if they called her back. I want them to call her back expeditiously right now. Call her back. I want 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 her back. How do y'all feel about it? I love Nene. Nene is my all-time favorite housewife, hands down, period, above anyone. I remember when she left, I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. I wanted her to come back. Nene is funny. I was trying to look up something. Do y'all also remember how Candy and, oh, side note, let me go back. I'm sorry. Remember, Tamron Hall was where Nene went when she was losing her peach on Atlanta. And she was like, don't my life matter? My life don't matter. And she was in the lobby of some apartment building, it looked like, or somewhere. And Tamron was asking her the tough questions. So now she's back. It's almost like full circle. So call Nene back, Bravo. Please call Nene back. Y'all let me know if y'all want to see Nene back. If so, why? If not, why not? Or if it doesn't matter, let me know that too. Now, remember when it was circulating, Kenya was on Amazon Live with Candy, and Candy was talking about how good Nene looked, and Kenya was like, yes, but I just want her to stop using the filters. And Candy was like, y'all all use the filters. And Kenya was like, not like that. I wake up like this. And Kenya said what she was trying to say was, Nene looks good. She doesn't need the filter. She looks good in person. Fast forward, Nene runs into Kenya at the airport. And she was joking, Kenya, me and my filters. And Kenya was like, I was saying you don't need them. And Nene was like, I'm going to steal your luggage. Well, since then, Nene has addressed seeing Kenya at the airport. Let's get into that. Hold on, y'all, because I should have kept it on share. I want y'all to see it too. So give me a minute. Oh, come on, let's go. Here we go. We're going to do it again just so y'all can, from the beginning. Please let it go right there. Please. Okay, here we go.
At the
I
airport?
did.
Okay.
How was it?
So Kenya and I have been texting anyway, like when she went through this whole thing, whatever happened with her exiting the show, we texted a few times. I was in London celebrating my birthday. She was there. We texted. We were going to try to have tea, but we couldn't. And just so happened we bumped into each other in the airport. And so we're cool. I'm cool with all of those girls. I don't have an issue. You know, when you're on the show kind of pits you up against each other. But I don't have an issue with any of the girls. No one. Not anybody.
Did you say anything to Kenya? Because I know she was praising your looks, but then she also said you need to lay off the filler. So did you say
Candy and said something?
No, we talked in the airport. First of all, I told her that they said, I think her and Candy were saying, let's give Nene, her props or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, you don't give people their props and then throw shade trees, honey.
Yeah.
And then she said, I was talking about the filter. Well, honey, you use filters too. I don't know anybody that's posting their pictures without a filter. Most women are posting their pictures with a filter and they're cleaning up their picture. Now, if you look absolutely different in person than your picture on Instagram, now that's another story. Wouldn't you say? That's
Absolutely.
a different story, but that's not what's happening over
you
here.
don't.
I use a filter. And I am the filter.
Exactly.
Okay?
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, Kenya Moore. Okay, Kenya. Okay, because these girls need to use filters too.
Damn.
Yeah, I see them in the airport. I see girls on Instagram. They look great on Instagram. You see them in person. You be like, this is the same person.
How did Kenya look at the in person at the airport?
Well,
Oh, you messy too. You messy. You just as messy. I'm like, how?
Well, I just keep it real and tell it like
How
it is.
did
You know,
she
I'm never
look?
afraid of any of those girls. She looked okay. She wasn't looking her best.
Yeah.
But she
at the
looked
airport.
okay. She could have used the hairdo and a filter.
Is it true you ran into Kenya Moore?
Yeah, she could have used a hairdo and a filter. I said, Nene is something else. Would y'all like to see Kenya and Nene back together again? I think it would make for a good Kiki. I would love to see it. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Moving on. The talk has been about Karen from Potomac, of course, for those of you that have been living under the underside of a rock. The Potomac reunion filmed last week, and Karen did not attend. there was a statement that was released. Now, it came from TV Deets. What's interesting is that TV Deets says, give me 1 second. Karen Huger entered a private treatment facility weeks before missing the RHOP season 9 reunion taping. TV Deets can exclusively report. We know that TV Deets is the one that has all the Potomac tea. Where they get it from, we don't know. We also know Bravo released the seating chart, and yes, Karen wasn't there. What was interesting, let's read her statement, of course. Give me 1 second. Karen made the important decision to enter a private recovery program, so was unable to attend the reunion taping today. Read the statement from her manager, Ryan Tresdale. She was fully supported in her choice. We stand behind Karen as she embarks on this meaningful journey and are proud of her for taking such a significant step forward in her personal growth. What was interesting to me was that it said that we all know about her not attending the reunion, but it says Karen entered a private treatment facility weeks before missing the RHOP reunion. I think, is rehab different than a private treatment facility? And was that the private treatment facility? Was she in a private treatment facility before, when she allegedly, her girlfriends broke her out for Sharice? And I believe she said it was in Florida. I think that's what Sharice said. But weeks before, how many weeks before? Because you were just, as people pointed out online, she was just at Kathy Hilton's holiday party in December. So exactly how many weeks before the reunion taped did you actually go to rehab? There's been a lot of talk about whether it's convenient timing for her. Some people say, no, she's not thinking about us. She did it because her sentencing is coming up at the end of this month. Isn't it like around the 26th or so? Then some people do believe she did it so that she could take the heat off of her at the reunion. I think it could be a combination of both. She don't care, but at the same time, she does care. And she knows that the people love the Grand Dame. And she didn't want the girls, aka Mia, the heat to be then taken off of them at the reunion and put on to her. So I believe that it was a combination of reasons as to why she didn't go. She wants as light a sentence as possible, and for the judge to take that into consideration. And also, she knew that she would be the center of the reunion. I do wonder why she didn't go to rehab right after the incident, even though she was fighting the case. Did she not go to rehab because she felt like if she went to rehab while fighting the case, going to rehab would be like admission, or going to a private treatment facility would be like a sign of admission, which is why she didn't? Because I would think one would go right in, offer to get random tests. I'm not saying I'm guilty, but just to ease the court's mind. You know what I mean? Like something. Like, why wouldn't she do that right away? She could have volunteered with a drinking and driving organization, and she would have had all these months. But you do it weeks before. How many weeks before? Again, you were just at Kathy Hilton's holiday party. Like she said on last week's episode, who said I was sobriety? No one, Karen. No one said it. So it's coming up, y'all. She's being sent. Let's get the exact date. Karen Huger sentencing. I believe it's the 26th, but it looks like it is January 29th. That's what AI is so crazy. Because side note, but having to do with Potomac, I Googled, because, the streets were saying that Kiana and Mia got into a fight, got into a physical altercation, rather, at the reunion, which would be crazy. And I Googled it just to see, like, wait, where did I see that again? AI came up and said, yes, Mia and Kiana did get into a physical fight. AI, how do you know? You don't know. But anyway, y'all, that's going to be crazy if they did get into a physical altercation. It'll be second time for both. But anyway, so we'll see. January 29th, y'all, that is coming up fast. We're already at the 14th today. So moving on, Real Housewives of New York. Now, I'm be honest with you. Y'all know I've said it before. I said it since the last season. I don't see it for Brynn. Never have. I was going to say never will, but who knows if she'll even be back to see it for. So this is according to Reality Blur, but it comes via Page Six. Jessel Taank sat down with Page Six and did an interview. And these are some of the things she had to say. If y'all watched, was it last week or the week before? It was Cy, Brynn, and Aaron sitting around the pool. And Brynn said that Brynn brought up, I believe it was Brynn, correct me if I'm wrong, brought up Pavitt and Jessel's relationship and was like, basically, they're just friends. Jessel said that a Black man was the love of her life. Her family wouldn't allow her to marry him, so she married Pavitt. This is what Brynn said. So Jessel addressed that in this interview, and she said, Jessel Taank claimed Brynn Whitfield's love of my life story on The Real Housewives of New York damaged my marriage to Pavitt. The star also expressed that Brynn twisted and manipulated her words, and she reacted to Brynn's shady comment that Jessel has a new face. So, give me one second. On a recent episode, Brynn stated that Jessel told co-stars that the love of her life was not her husband, but an ex-boyfriend who her family wouldn't let her marry because he was Black. The article didn't put that in there. Anyway, at one point, Brynn also claimed that Jessel showed up to season 2 of the reboot with a new face and new teeth. So on Page Six virtual reality podcast, Jessel said Brynn broke girl code big time. I mean, talk about not being a girl's girl. Brynn's story about the love of my life, that was a complete distortion. What that actually was, we were talking about the craziest hookups we've ever had. There was no mention of love of my life. That wasn't even in the conversation. I would have said my husband is because that's the guy I married. I told this story and she distorted my entire story and twisted and manipulated it, and in a way that was actually very damaging to my marriage. Watching that back, I had no clue that was even discussed. So I'm sitting on the couch with Pavitt, of all people, and my jaw is on the floor because I'm just like, wait, that never happened. She also addressed Brynn's claim that Jessel has a new face. It just so happens that when you watch yourself on television, you notice everything. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to tweak a couple of things. Also, like, who doesn't get Botox? Who doesn't get a little filler here and there? She thinks Brynn was attempting to make her look vain. I've gotten Botox since I was 26. It's a game changer. I'm not a gatekeeper, and I'm certainly not the type of person to be doing all these procedures and not talking about it. So I talk about it on my social media. I don't want people to ever feel like I'm doing things behind closed doors. I get it. We're on television. It comes with the territory. I did get veneers. My dentist is amazing, Dr. Victoria Weitzman. She's the best. She does every celebrity, expressed Jessel, who said she sought help from Dr. Vestman years after a childhood accident affected the appearance of her smile. There's actually a very funny story. When I was a kid, I was running by a swimming pool on vacation and I slipped. I slammed my mouth on the concrete, and so I actually had to get cosmetic resurfacing or reconstruction on my teeth or whatever. Add to that, I believe she also said in the same interview, now, this was reported from the Real Housewives Zone, but I do believe she said this in the same interview. She spoke on her friendship with Brynn. She says, it's definitely broken. There's going to be a lot of work that has to be done to get her trust back, Jessel told Page Six, acknowledging that Whitfield's penchant for stirring the pot has landed her in hot water with several members of the RHONY cast. I think a lot of the girls feel that way. I think that unintentionally, she was just being a bit of a bitch to everyone. I think it was intentional. She went into the season maybe feeling like she was God and playing God in a way, and it just didn't resonate. Jessel elaborates, but here's the interesting thing. To your face, it's everything's cool. But if you've noticed, all the snarky remarks come in the confessionals, like the stuff that happens behind your back. Watching the season back, Jessel has found Whitfield to be very two-faced, forcing her to reconsider their future as pals. I don't like that, and I'm not cool with it, she says. So she says their friendship is very broken after watching the season. Look, we knew who. I'm going to only speak for me. For me, I felt like I knew who Brynn was season 1. Hands down. But I guess now the rest of the cast is seeing it. The problem with me with that cast, though, is that they all say it in a confessional. But whether you like her or not, whether sometimes people feel like it comes out of left field, which I do believe Brynn pokes Uba. However, Uba is the only one that will say it to Brynn's face. And Sai did in the beginning of the season. So the rest of the cast, like Erin, she said something about Brynn's behavior last week in her confessional, but never said anything to her face. Erin is the type that whoever she meets up with, that's the personality she takes on. So if that person is talking about it, she's all in. Then she'll go meet with the next person and bring up what that other person said about them and then take on the personality of the person she's with. Yes, I feel that way too. So she's a snake as well, I feel like. But Brynn definitely. Yeah, so we shall see. Y'all think they're going to come back for season 3? Or do y'all think they're going to be put on pause and try to reboot the cast? Y'all let me know. That's, you know what? That's it for this particular episode. Lord, I'm thinking, child, like a show. Who knows? Maybe one day. But that's it for this particular video. So y'all let me know what y'all think about Nene possibly coming back and what she said about Kenya needing filters. Shot needed a hairdo and a filter that day. Let me know what y'all think about Karen. Do y'all think that Karen should not return to Potomac? And if so, do you feel like that, A, because of what she did? Or B, A, because of what she did with the drunk driving, B, because of her not going to the reunion, or C, a combination of both? Y'all let me know what y'all think. I will be back shortly. Talk to you later. See ya.